other people.
Sleep.
From other people.
Yo, 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 yo. How is everyone doing tonight? Hello, 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 hello. Please type a 1 in the chat if you are having a wonderful day. Also, please type in the chat where you are tuning in from. I want to know where everybody's at. How's everybody doing today? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Jeez. It's a quiet chat out there, huh? Just kidding. Just kidding. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. Always, first things first is we always dive into some personal development. If you don't like it, learn to love it. Very simple, guys, because this is the key to my success. This is one of the things that I do on a day-to-day basis and has helped me with the development process of my skill set. And being that this is the thing, the thing that I love the most, right? I have to be able to create this sense of growth within myself, and I have to really want and drive to do it. So I recommend every individual to please go out there and find things that do develop you and help you with your growth in this skill set, especially if you are trading. So I want to thank every individual on making it to this call. I appreciate you guys so much. I can't really even put it in words, really. But, let's dive deep into it. Right now, we're going to hop into some Aubrey Marcus, who is phenomenal for controversial issues and really diving deep into the insecurities of an individual, especially in their growth process. And he has on his podcast Joe Rogan, for all the individuals that know him, UFC commentator, and also podcast owner as well. So let's dive deep into it and their topic on how to use challenge to grow stronger. Very powerful podcast. So let's get straight into it, guys.
Sometimes that's good. Sometimes you get good stuff out of that. But it's like a diet.
I'm Jeff Bishop. I'm the co-founder of RagingBull.com. I'm one of the world's top real money stock
Of only fruit. Like, hey, motherfucker, you need some protein.
Yeah.
Years, and you've achieved this certain level of excellence. It's very unusual. You realize, like, oh, that could be achieved in other venues. You just have to find the venue, apply the discipline, and that
can do it now, and I can totally radically forgive myself for the past
and just move forward from here because the past is fucking gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's over. It's a
Yeah.
dead body. Like the living body starts now,
Mhm.
immediately.
Yeah, that's like that video that we did a while back. Be the hero of your own movie. You know, you are not your past. You're you. You're you right now. Like the past, you might have done some things you wish you hadn't done. Don't dwell on that. You learn from it. That's fine, but don't dwell on it. Just keep moving. Keep moving. You know, use it. Use it as fuel. Say never again. You know, I get what I did wrong, but don't think that you're that person that made those mistakes. You're the person who's learned. You know, and to have that attitude is a really important thing. And to not say, why am I doing this now? I could have been doing this my whole life. Well, you weren't, so the fuck is that going to help?
Yeah.
You know, you gotta not think like that. You just gotta be happy you're doing it now. You know, Russell Peters has gotten really heavily into jiu-jitsu, and he's been doing jiu-jitsu now for a couple of years, like I think 3 years. He's got his blue belt, and we were training together the other day. It's like, God, I wish I started when I was younger. I go, well, yeah, but you didn't. So shut the fuck up and let's
Right.
keep going.
Right.
Like you can't, that shit ain't gonna help anything.
doesn't
You got
help.
a time machine, bitch. And by the way, if you did start when you were younger, who knows? Maybe you would have never done stand up, or maybe you would have not gotten so into it. Maybe you would have been more into jujitsu. Maybe maybe that's better. But whatever it is, it's not happening.
Plus, though, like you said before, the rush of improvement and rapid improvement
Mhm.
is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome to suck at something. Like,
Yes.
it's really fun
is.
because then the growth that you get,
Yeah.
like for LeBron James to be a little bit better basketball player, it's a fucking lot of work
Yeah.
and it's a little lift.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? But
Yep.
if he's trying to play like badminton or something that he's never done before,
Right.
like, or figure out some calligraphy or some
Yeah.
shit, like, he's gonna grow and learn fast and
Mhm.
he'll have the rush of like, oh wow, I'm getting this, I'm learning
Yeah.
it, I'm finding a new skill. Oh, archery, wow, I'm
Mhm.
getting better at this. So there's pleasure and benefit in all of these things, and so being okay with sucking and actually hunting the things that you suck at because you know it'll be fun to improve those, especially if you enjoy doing it. Like fucking, that's part of the good shit. So to wish that
Yeah.
you were already good at it, you're just denying yourself the pleasure of the rapid growth that you get. Like that first time he gets like a fucking armbar on somebody or like taps another blue belt, like you wouldn't have had that feeling now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's critical to. I think for me personally, I don't know for everybody, but for me, I like to do a lot of different things, and I like to do things that I'm not very good at. And in doing things that I'm not very good at, I learn about learning, and I think learning about learning, like especially new things, it's so especially for someone who does something and has been doing the same thing for a long time. Like I guess LeBron's been doing with basketball, or you know, a stand-up comedian like myself has been doing stand-up for 30 years. You do it for 30 years. Been doing the same goddamn thing for a long time. What I find makes me better at stand-up is not just doing a lot of stand-up, but also doing a lot of other things, and particularly doing things that I'm not good at. That and they don't like archery never makes its way into my act. You know, like yoga doesn't make its way into my act, but doing those things that I suck at, it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's that old Musashi quote,
Yep.
right? You know, like, know the way specifically, you know the way broadly, know the way broadly, you know the way specifically. Like, the
Yeah.
same things that you apply to the art of archery, the
Yeah.
same things you apply to the art of yoga, you apply to the art of comedy. In some way, it's not a direct correlation, but
Mhm.
you become the one who can overcome the thing.
Yeah.
And that's universal. If you're the one that can overcome the thing, that applies to
Mhm.
fucking whatever.
Yeah, that's the reason why I got this tattoo. I mean, this tattoo is know the way broadly, and you can see it in all things. That's
Mhm.
Musashi.
Yeah.
I mean that's true. I mean, knowing that you can achieve a certain level of excellence, whether it's at martial arts or anything you're doing, if you do know what that feeling is like when you've worked for years and years and years and you achieve this certain level of excellence, it's very unusual. You realize like, oh, that could be achieved in other venues. You just have to find the venue, apply the discipline, and that's where you get so much more benefit out of a struggle that you choose to embark in versus a struggle that life throws upon you. And I think the more you choose to embark in these struggles, these especially physical and mental struggles, because I consider both martial arts, yoga, and actually even trail running, I consider the mental struggles as much as physical struggles. Like, because I could stop anytime I want. I'm halfway up the hill, I can go, fuck this.
Yep.
Fuck this, I'm walking the rest of the way.
Yep.
Call my dog over, put him on the leash, I'm like, we're walking, buddy.
Yeah.
But or you could say, no, this is what I'm doing today. I have a very clear plan in front of me. My plan is we're doing 4 miles today. This is where we start. This is where we end. This is what we're doing.
And then doing it.
Just do it.
And you can do that with a cold plunge too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
If you have a cold
Yep.
plunge and you're going
Yep.
in, and it's like you're the one who's controlling whether you're going to stay for the 3 minutes if that's
Mhm.
your objective. Like
Yeah.
every ounce of you is going to be screaming, "Yeah, that's enough, bro. You're
Yep.
good. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you got it. You know those cold shock proteins. I can feel them already. They're already brewing.
Yep.
We good. Let's get out of here."
When you look
Yeah.
at that clock and you're like, oh my god, there's 8 minutes left.
yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and you fucking make it. You get not only
Yeah.
the reward of the thing, you get the
Mhm.
reward of being the person
Yep.
who did the thing.
Yeah, that's why that hot yoga is so goddamn hard. Because first of all, it's 90 minutes, and doing anything physically difficult for 90 minutes, it's hard to exert yourself for 90
Yeah.
minutes. Man, the last 20 minutes of hot yoga is one of the most difficult things I ever do in my life. Because when I do yoga, one of the things that I do is I do it 100%. I don't half-ass it. So when I'm trying these poses, I am fucking straining. I'm trying my best, and it is so hard. But I've done a lot of yoga, but every time that class is about to start, I'm like, fuck, here we go. Because I know we're going into 90 minutes of suck, 90 minutes of 105 degrees suck. And,
Yep.
and then once you start sweating, your body heats up. You might as well be in a sauna. They're doing a study at Harvard about what are the positive benefits of hot yoga, and they think that it mimics sauna, but they don't know, so they have to do this long-term study with a bunch of different participants and measure cytokines and see whether or not it actually does mimic the heat shock protein benefits of sauna. Because you know that study that they did, I think it was in Sweden or Norway or some shit, where they found a 40% decrease in all-cause mortality due to sauna. 4 to 5 days of sauna, 20 minutes a day at 180 degrees. They found a 40% decrease in heart attack, cancer, stroke, everything across the board. Like your body wants to be tested. It wants to.
Always.
And that sauna sucks a fat dick too. The last few minutes when you're looking at the clock and you know you have 5 more minutes in this fucking 190 degree box of cedar and pain. Like fuck. But you get out of there and your body thanks you for it. Like you don't get better at anything. Well, I guess you do get better at anything from lying in bed. Like you need that too.
The
You
recovery
really do.
part too.
Yeah, you really do
stress,
need to recover.
stress and recover. But that
Yeah.
sauna, that's an old tradition too. That's the Inipi, the sweat lodge that
Mhm.
the Native Americans
Yep.
are doing. The Temazcal that
Mhm.
the Mesoamericans and South Americans have been doing. This is a practice, and that's why that in and of itself is one of the most powerful medicines, because those things, they last sometimes a couple of hours, and you're sweating in the darkness, jet black, singing prayers, playing drums.
Yeah.
And like those, when you go in there, it's rare that an individual at some point doesn't only have the physical sweat release, but an emotional release, because it feels like you're in pitch darkness. You're not in control. Somebody else is leading you through this thing, and you have to surrender.
Yep.
You have to surrender to the moment of what is, and with the surrender, all of that tension, everything that you've been holding, it just kind of washes through you, and you come back like rebirth. It's like rebirthing out of the womb when you crawl out on your hands and knees from this little teepee or this little hut, and that's that. These things that we can hunt that are available that sometimes have thousands of years of tradition behind them. There's reasons why there was thousands of years, whether
Yeah.
it's plant medicine or whether it's Temazcal or whether it's sweat or whether it's yoga. Like, people don't just continue things for thousands of
Right.
years because it's bullshit. you know?
Yeah, those little skinny dudes in India were onto something.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
And
For
apparently
sure.
they used to do it while smoking a lot of hash.
Mhm.
Like that's apparently a big part of the tradition of yoga. And if you don't understand that, get high and go to a yoga class, and you go, oh,
Another level.
okay, it's another level. Yeah, it's another level. It's a totally different experience. You get lost in the movements, and I think that endurance, enduring something, and building up that ability to endure things, that's also a very important mechanism that you could apply to everyday life. Like that, the mechanism of understanding how to endure. Because a lot of people are just running from discomfort. They're running from it. They're just avoiding it. So easy to. And like if you get distracted for a second, you're like, let me check my phone. You just start going through your phone and looking at bullshit, and you're just distracting yourself from the tiniest frustration of boredom. Just the little. We don't get bored anymore. Or if we get bored, we get bored for these tiny amounts of time, and then you get distracted. So your distraction is eliminating your boredom. But the problem with that is like there's certain thoughts that only come to you when you're thinking, when you don't have any input coming in. When we're constantly looking at our phones, the only input you're getting is input from other people. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes you get good stuff out of that. But it's like a diet of only fruit. You know, like, hey, motherfucker, you need some protein.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
Awesome, guys. Welcome. So, I'm going to start, diving directly into it. 1 second. Cool. So... cool. Awesome. So, who here got value from that in some contextual way? The idea that when you are embarking on a new journey or experiencing new challenges in your life, that sometimes you can, it's a mental game, right? You get stuck in this constant array of disbelief, like doubt. I experienced that in some cases, and it can be psyching, especially if it's an extraneous task, like some physical goal that you have or physical journey that you're on. Sometimes it can be stressful. Sometimes it can be hard. And not to knock the other side of it, whether it's not necessarily physical, but it is very hard. It's very, stressful on your mind. It is very stressful on the situation. You can sometimes psych yourself out of the situation. How many people feel that in their day-to-day lives? How many people on this session feel that stress factor going into your journey of growth, whether that's financial, spiritual, physical, or mental? When it comes to, this aspect of what Joe Rogan was talking about in terms of the body enjoys being tested, sometimes we really don't understand that concept. And it was one time I was in the sauna where we would work. It was the first time I ever worked out with Chris, and it was brutal. Like, the brutal is a different word. I would say like the harshest experience I've ever had in a gym. So fast forward, we went through a workout. We played like 5 rounds of like basketball up to 15. And we were just going back to back. And then he ended up doing a call. We worked out right after that for an hour, and then we hit the sauna. Keep in mind, I've never been in the sauna before, and this was the first time. Now, granted, this is the first time, and I'm going in here trying to impress and show some type of what's the word I'm looking for? Uniqueness within myself, so that maybe he could see, show some type of validation towards me, or share some type of acceptance with me, because I'm looking up to this guy, so I'm thinking, I need acceptance in order for him and I to develop a bond. But in reality, that was just a facade anyway. So to dive back into it, I go into the sauna, and I stepped my initially the first step in was horrendous. I was like, what the hell did I get myself into, right? Like, this was crazy. But then I really started to think about it as like, I'm looking at my watch, and I'm like, okay, how much more time left? All right, cool. I'm looking at one of the guys that was with us, and I'm like, bro, like, how long does he usually stay in here? And you see Chris just like, zenning out, just like meditating, and it's like, what the heck is going on? So I step out, and I have like this revelation, right? First things first, I noticed is that my body loved it. Like, legit, the moment that I stepped out, it was like, my body was like, thank you. Like, that was amazing. It was like, not to be like super, super weird, but it was like in a sense of, right after you're in some type of intimacy with your partner, your body's like, that was amazing. That experience was amazing. So, that was the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed was that when you test your body, it allows you to have some type of self-awareness on how far you can go, right? So after that day, I'm like, bro, I can go far as heck. Like, I can really take this super far. And that changed my mindset. Like, before I met, that day, and before any of that, I was in a serious level of self-pity and self-doubt. Like, I did not believe I was going to be able to take it to this level. To be able to get on this, like, formulate a stream on YouTube, figure everything out, and then just, like, boom, send it, and just, like, here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think that I was able to do that until that day was the first day that it kind of just developed this journey of growth that I had now I can have the confidence to come on here and just, like, bam, let's get to it, right? So when it came to what, bring it back full circle to what Joe was saying, was that when you are struggling through some type of, aspect or roadblock in your journey, it's okay, because your body is going to enjoy it. Your body, you are going, at the end of the day, at the end of that, you're going to enjoy it because you endured it. You went through it, you went through everything, and you endured it. Right? And it just brought back so many memories. It brought back times where I did do that before, but I wasn't aware of it. And I was like, yeah, I got this. I got this. And I did not sleep last night. And I wake up at 4. Well, I didn't wake up, but I got up at like 4:30. And I went on a run. And I'm listening to, for all my hip hop fans on here, Dave East. He just released a new album. And I'm really I'm really immersed into the hip hop culture as far as like in New York, because that's where it came from, and I love that sound. And I'm listening to it, and there's a song called let me say this. See the song. It's called "Need a Sign" with Tiana Taylor, and it was, wow, like that song's amazing. It hits home every time, because it talks about his struggles and how he's looking to God for a sign, for something. And just keep moving forward, keep going, don't give up, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And like, it just brought back everything full circle. Like, dude, keep going. No matter what, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Because there has to be something positive at the end of the tunnel. Even if it is a lesson, it has to be, I have to have some type of positive reinforcement at the end. And I know at the end of it, I will still look back and say that was a good idea. That decision was a good decision, right? To keep going. So I hope that everyone gets to that point. If you're not there already, I hope everyone that's on this or just in general is able to look at this opportunity as an opportunity and not strenuous or lazy or busy work. Look at it as, okay, this is the time for me to go crazy on it. This is the time for me to really take it to the next level, whether that's trading or the business side of the platform as well. So the way it works usually is this is the time, the opportunity for individuals to go ahead and whatever questions or concerns that you have regards to the platform or your journey in trading, whatever, please put that in the chat. I'm giving you guys 5 minutes to go ahead and just like bombard with me with questions. After those 5 minutes, I will dive deep into those questions individually, handling in each person, giving them a set amount of time to answer their questions. And then after that, right, we're going to dive deep into what happened yesterday, because there were some things that happened yesterday that were really good, right? And then we'll start diving deeper into, okay, what I might be looking at in terms of how I go about my checklist and how I go about my trading setup and what I do to make those trades happen for me. You know what I'm saying? So I want every individual 5 minutes. Please go ahead and put your questions or concerns into the chat box, and I will go ahead and answer those for you. Awesome. Let's go. 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. I know. Two more minutes. Actually, a minute and a half. Once again, guys, please put your questions or concerns, anything. I know you guys aren't, you guys have something. Please put it in the chat box. We can go ahead and talk about it. Okay. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so we do have one question from Angel. Do you have ways or techniques to manage emotional stress when trading or even outside of trading when things get tough? Wow, that is a very good question, guys. Thank you, Angel, for that. Because a lot of times people want to ask those type of questions. So, let's get straight into it, right? How do I deal with emotional stress when I am trading? The answer to that question is belief, confidence, right? So yes, when I first started, I was trading very, very intense. My trading style was very intense. I was very high frequency. I had to trade every day. I had to make some type of move every day. And when you start to understand that the markets aren't there to cater to you, but to cater to you're there to basically react off of them, then that's when you start to really understand and dive deeper into really starting to make a little bit more money in the markets. So I had to basically surrender to the markets. I had to be able to sit there and conceptually understand that I won't be able to control anything in the markets, but I can continuously react based on my analysis. So I had to dive deeper into my analysis. I had to understand and really dive deep into why this works this way, right? I had to try new things. I had to put myself out there to make mistakes and then understand, okay, does this work? No. Does this work? Yes. Okay, let me take this and implement it into my strategy until I basically just found something that worked for me continuously and I rode with it, right? So that's how I manage stress in trading. Also, if you're trading if you're trading proper risk, then you shouldn't be stressed out. Why? Because the trades that Chris gives out are high probability trades setups as long as you follow the rules. And when you're developing that in the process of taking the trades from the products, you should be using proper risk to limit the amount of stress and anxiety that comes with trading. Guys, if you focus on personal development, if you focus on the 90% of mental, 10% skill, if you focus on that 90%, you have DMOs, you have non-negotiables, then stress and anxiety will not go into the markets, right? I remember the first time I did these streams, I played a video involving Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and he talked about what keeps him grounded, what keeps him stable, what keeps a foundation around him that he can fall back to, and his was the gym. It was the weight room. Every time, every day, before he went into the office, before he went on set, before he went into a ring, he had to do some type of activity within weights, within the gym. And that allowed him to create a foundation so that when he went to attack his daily task and his daily goals, he was able to complete them without any stress or anxiety because his foundation was already set per day. Give you an example, my foundation is meditation. I have to meditate every day. If I do not, that day is bad automatically. I don't know why, I just have to do it. So every day I set 10 minutes to 15 minutes to just meditate, calm my mind, because my mind is crazy. I suffer through anxiety. But when I learned the skill set of meditation, that is when my anxiety started to really reduce, and I was able to come into the markets with full confidence and full patience and full faith in God, and just be like, here, I have my setup, I have my rules, I have my checklist, I followed it to the T, I entered proper risk, I'm good to go, let's just wait and see what happens, right? And it's helped, it's really benefited me. So my biggest biggest advice to you is to have daily methods of operation, have a routine that you follow that keeps you grounded, that sets a foundation for you every single day. No matter what, you have to do those. You have to do that routine. That is what keeps you sane. Within that, the next thing that I would do is follow proper risk. Follow proper risk. If you go about the markets calm, calculated, and precise, then the stress is removed. But if you go into the markets excited, if you go into the markets already stressed out, already in a bad mood, already sad, already worried about if your girlfriend's going to leave you or not, then what's going to happen is that you're going to fail. Create that foundation, follow proper risk, follow your daily checklist for trading, follow or take trades from the apps that you have. Guys, get Gold Cup. It is 80% accurate. 80%. There's no app out there realistically from any other platform that does that. Use it, guys. Use it to your advantage. So if you're doing all those things, I promise you, you will be in a better mindset when you enter the charts. Now, in life, it's the same thing. How you do one thing is how you do everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So when you're entering the markets, if you created that foundation, you are already set to enter the markets. When you're going out to hang out with your family, but you still did those daily routines, I guarantee you, because I've done this, I guarantee you when you go hang out with them, it will be a different experience. And the other day when I was hanging out with my my family on my mom's side, that's what happened. That was the result. I made sure that I did my meditation, I did my exercise, I did my movement, so that when I went to go hang out and then I was listening, I was just listening to what my uncle was telling me about his problems and how he wanted more time with his kids and wanted more time with his wife and all these things. I was able to really listen and just really dive deep into how can I help him based on what I've experienced. I gave him, things that I do, my routine, how I handle the day, and he just texted me today that he wants to get more information. So, guys, it's all about how you start your day. If you can learn, Chris says all the time, if you learn how to, you can master a year by mastering a month, and you can master a month by mastering a week. And if you can by mastering a week, you have to master the day. If you learn how to master that day, then you'll be able to master that year. So that is my biggest advice to you on that situation. Cool. I hope that helped with your question. Does anybody else have any other questions? Gotta represent. Does anybody else have any other questions? any other questions in regards to trading, you know, if you guys want me to take a look at any charts, anything. I want to give you guys the opportunity to just bombard me with all the questions. You're very welcome. Okay, no questions. Alright guys, once again, this is the opportunity for you guys to ask. Perfectly fine. So I'm going to go ahead and dive deep into what happened today, this morning, right? So 2 trades that I took that were on the session yesterday that actually Logan had sent me, that was on Chris's session, was Euro JPY, which I am currently still in, to show you guys what happened, right? So I ended up taking a entry at this level right here because it broke, I want to say around, what was this, like 4 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock. I took an entry right here. I retested. I entered right here at this level. Scrolled down. I want to say 30 pips. Almost 30 pips. And then I closed my first initial order and took my profits. And set my 10 pip stop loss on my second order. For those individuals that don't know what that is, that's a twin trading method. Basically, you're entering the markets with 2 orders instead of 1. You're splitting that lot size in half. So if I entered with a standard lot size, which is a 1.0, I entered with 5 mini lots. Yeah, I entered 2 orders with each order being 5 mini lots, which is a 0.5 on each order. So I did up 2.5s and I held it all the way down, closing the first order at the bottom, took my profits, and then I moved my stop loss on my second order to a 20 pips or 10 pip stop loss. Price ended up coming back up to the zone and, you know, basically took me out the trade. So I ended that trade with a total of 40 pips. I could have ended it with 60, but, you know, that's fine. I then took another entry around right here and I'm still currently holding. Just see this trade keep going down up until this zone right here. It's probably going to retest around this area, but I'm really looking for it to come down to this point right here and retest or drive right back up. So, yeah, guys, just go ahead and keep holding that one if you're still in it. Courtesies to Chris and Logan. Another trade that I took was UJ, which was amazing. I had an order right here, closed out, but then re-entered at this level and just let it just fall like gracefully. This was amazing. This trade was phenomenal. Probably the best trade this week. For a total, I closed the first order exactly at 30 pips right here, and then held the second order all the way down, which I am still currently in, for a total of 55 pips. Continuously trailing my stop loss or moving my stop loss down. So basically, to show you, the moment that the trade came back down and then retested right here, I then closed my first order and then moved my stop loss on my second order to this level right here, meaning meaning that if price was to ever come back, I'm still in profit. And then actually I'm going to then move my stop loss down to here, just because price is continuously going back down and is going to continue to fall. there is a potential trade set up around this area for it to maybe go back up or continuously go down. If you're waiting for an entry, wait to see what happens if it comes down to this zone tomorrow, and then see what you can get out of that, because it can just basically continue to fall and then come back up and retest, or it can continue to fall and then bounce back up, or it can continue to fall, bounce up, and then bounce back down like that. So just be prepared for it. If you're still in it, stay in it. I wouldn't recommend getting out of those two trades. They're still very high probability trades, so nothing wrong with that. If you're looking for a re-entry, my re-entry is right here, simply because I'm waiting for price to come back to this major support level and see what it does at that area. Right? Other trades. What were the other trades that I had? I think I had GBP, JPY. Let's see this one. This one's still very prominent. Called this one on the session earlier as well. Did the same exact thing. Broke, retested, and then is shooting down. If you're looking for another entry, mine would be right here. You can wait for price to come down to this level. Break and retest. Take the entry on the retest. Whoops. And for the upside, yeah, just basically this just becomes the ceiling. Alright. I'm actually gonna take an entry on this. So yeah, that's pretty much it on yesterday. And this is my revising for the trades from yesterday. Let me delete this. Delete. Put an alarm right there. Cool. Alarm right there. Yeah. Okay, cool. DJ, same thing. Yeah, that's what I'm really waiting for. Move this down. one skill set that I would recommend getting into that's gonna help you benefit you in trading is learning how to adapt to the markets. Because a lot of times you gotta redraw and restructure yourself for success. Sometimes your initial analysis isn't correct. Sometimes you gotta revise some things. So okay, cool. Let's dive straight into it. So, all right, we're gonna get into my process of how I find my trades. Basically, the whole analysis, my whole checklist. I always break it down simple. The steps that I take is the first thing is I go to the harmonic scanner to find pairs, find setups. The next thing that I do is I journal those setups in my trading journal. Then I go to TradingView to draw my zones, and then after that, my next step is to set alerts, right? Which is what I was doing. I have alarms so that whenever the trade decides to make its move, my phone gets alerted directly because I'm signed in to my TradingView on my phone. And then after that, I simply am just patient, waiting for the trade setup to activate, meaning break the zones, right? Also, to give a quick demonstration on what I mean by break, the way I go about it when I look for a break and retest is I look for the break on the 1 hour, right? So I look for price to completely cross on the 1 hour, and then once that happens, I dive deeper into the 15-5 minute to find the retest, and once I find that retest, I take my entry and I just hold the trade. So wait for the break on the 1 hour, look for the retest on the 5 to 15 minute charts. Once that price has created a level of resistance or a new level of support, floor or ceiling, then that's when you go ahead and take that trade risk free, set your stop loss 20 pips, and just go ahead and go about it. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay, so we had UJ, which I just did. Something else on here. GBP USD. I like this one. Okay, so once I find a trade set up, I then go to my trading journal on my phone, which is trading journal, right? And then I type in potential setups that I'm looking at, GBP, USD, and USD, JPY, and AUD, NZD. It's choppy, but there's some potential that could happen, potentially. Okay. We already have GBP CAD, CAD JPY. Yeah, there's some potential. Honestly, I really don't like this setup. I mean, I could draw on it, but it's just gonna be really big zones. I don't think I'm gonna focus on it. Sometimes, like, I just don't really feel comfortable sometimes taking trade-ups, and it's fine, you know? I'm not a master at it. So what I'll do is I'll wait for Chris to do his sessions, and then if his zones were similar to where I would put them, then I will go ahead and draw it. If not, then I don't want to say I'll miss out, but I'll just be very, very hesitant to take the trade, you know, which is fine. You don't have to take every trade. It's okay. No fear of missing out. Okay, cool. So I have USD JPY, which I've already done. GBP USD, which I will do. AUD NZD, which I will do. And then GBP CAD. 0 GBP. Nah, I don't really like it. GBP CAD, though, I do like, so I will go over that as well. I did that last week, though, so we'll go ahead and go over that right now. Cool. Also USD CAD as well, because sometimes you'll find, you know, hidden gems when you're just looking. As you can see, this is a major level of support or a floor right here in this level, which was originally a level of resistance on the day-to-day or on the daily chart. So, you know, usually when it's on a higher time frame, that means that it's potentially a big move either way. So when you find that, you just go on the 1 hour and you just find your zone. So that's what I did. I found this zone and drew it, and vice versa for this one as well, and drew it, and just waiting patiently to see what happens. Let's use the CAD. Also, Euro USD as well, I like, simply because it's toppling off right here at this level. Basically meaning that it's just losing momentum on the upside potentially. So it could just shoot down right here, and, you know, we can take an entry at this level and just, you know, let it fall basically. But, you know, just seeing what happens. Once again, it does have to break and then retest, and then we take the entry. And just watch it fall. Watch it fall. I do like USD. Okay, so let's look at GBP USD. So the harmonic pattern was in here, but as you can see, this would be a head and shoulders pattern. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a look at that. This is a head and shoulders pattern. You have the shoulders right here, and then you have the neckline right here, and then you have the head right here. So usually you draw your resistance line at the neckline, which is around here. And then this would be my zone for support. I'm trapping price, so I'm waiting to see what price is going to do. Could move that down a little bit. Actually, that's going to be my zone. I like that zone a lot because boom, 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 rejection right here. You know, this one is kind of iffy. I like this one a lot. Set my alarms. Bam. Alright, so that's one done. The next one was the AUD NZD. Yep. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, I already have one out. Alright, cool. Let's move this. Let's move this. Alright, so I see that we got some flooring movement right here. This was just, wow, like, this is crazy. But right here is really nice. I like this area, so I found my floor. Draw my zones. And then my ceiling is just right around here. Yeah, that's fine. So you have touches right here. You have consolidation within it right here, right here, right here as well, and then you have a complete touch right there. So just patiently waiting. Remember, break on the 1 hour. Look for the retest on the 5 to 15 minute. I don't know if I can set another alarm. I think I might want to limit. Oh, guess not. Well, there you go. I guess not. Sometimes it be like that. I don't believe I did. Yeah, I didn't do that here too. So I can do that here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a look at that for you too. I don't trade NZD pairs. Never had really good luck on them. But yeah, I'll go ahead and take a look for you. You know, and this is purely my opinion on it. Once again, your analysis might work for you, and that might be a good trade setup for you. But for me, it has to meet my checklist, and for me, NZD wasn't on my checklist at all, so I'm not gonna take a look at it. For me to trade, but for you, I'll go ahead and do it. I got you, bro. Awesome. Cool. Sorry about that. This elbow is killing me. Just go ahead and turn right here. JPY, right? Yeah. So when I immediately see this is pretty good setup. Boom, I have my full support right here. The reason why I'm doing it right here is because this was a level of resistance. So So, well, you know what? Let's see. Sometimes you gotta just kind of go out and just look. Yeah, so actually my floor is right there. So that's what I'm looking at. And then ceiling's pretty simple. I mean, want to give yourself some room, you can do that. Do that. Remember guys, patience is key. Please be patient, please. Now, does this match your analysis, or did you do something different, or what? I don't want you to just, wait for me to do things and then you take the trade. Like, I want you to be able to, see if it matches your analysis. If not, then if I might be wrong or you might be wrong. Does that help? Does that help you guys at all? Any kind of way? Are there any other questions, concerns? Pretty close to it. My floor is a little bit up higher, but I see why you put it there instead. Yep. Which is fine. This can be your floor, but for me to take the trade, we would have to cross this level because this was originally a level of resistance. Right around there. Anything else that you guys need help on? Awesome. So, that will conclude the intro to London session pre-game, right? So, once again, my Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter are all on the screen. If you guys want to go ahead and click or type those into your socials and, go ahead and give a follow, simply because I want to be able to help you guys on real time. Also, please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button because that allows you to just go ahead and get the notifications immediately when I'm online. These calls will not conclude tomorrow simply because I want to say the banks will be closed tomorrow due to it's New Year's Eve. But they will continue after New Year's Eve on New Year's Day. If banks are open, I will go ahead and let you guys know if we're going to continue. Yeah, definitely. Once again, also, please go right after this call. Please go ahead and tune in to the best, the greatest, the one who taught all of us, including me, this strategy, Christopher Derrick. Thank you very much. This is this is, you want to get to know on that session, because that's simply the reason why I'm doing these calls. These calls are here so that you guys are fully equipped when you get onto the session to receive his knowledge and to understand, okay, that's why he does that. That's why this is there. That's why, it did make sense. And then that's when you really start to polish and really start to fine tune your skill to where you're completely independent on the markets, and you'll go onto his sessions without a doubt, knowing that your setups are, if not the same, similar to what he's doing. Also, I recommend having another educator that you pay attention to. Mine is Luke, because he is very similar to Chris's. Go ahead and watch their sessions as well. It's always to get a different, fresh, new insight on how you can polish your skill set as well. Now, once again, I want to thank every individual for making it to these calls tonight. I really do appreciate it. Guys, I cannot explain how much gratitude and satisfaction it brings to me to be able to help you every single day that I can. This is what I do it for, guys. I just, I want everybody to have breakthroughs. I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to achieve their goals, especially for the new year, new decade. Let's smash our goals. Let's smash it all. Let's run it, guys. So, thank you very much. I hope everybody enjoyed the session. I will see you very soon. Peace. Peace.